Are you ready? Are you ready to throw down on George Wallace Thursday with the one and only Rodney Perry? Hello, everyone. Welcome to What You Need to Know Headlines. I'm Sybil Wilkes. It is Thursday. That means George Wallace is doing whatever it is George Wallace does.
I was trying to find my Hustler magazine.
Okay. And our special guest, I am so happy. One of my all-time favorites, Rodney Perry. How you doing?
Hey, Sybil, how are you?
I am great. And like I said, I'm so happy that you are with us today. Thank you, George Wallace, for making the connection and bringing Rodney on.
Yes, because we need Rodney. We haven't heard from Rodney for a while. People need to know more about Rodney. He's with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we want to know how you're doing. How you feeling? How's the world treating you these days?
I am great. I got a chance to be in Coming to America too.
I know.
We saw you.
And that's a blessing. And the family is growing up. We got one graduated from high school in a couple of days, and one headed to middle school as well. So we still building this old Perry clan.
The Perry clan continues to grow.
Yes, sir.
Getting an invitation now. I'm getting an invitation. That's why I hate this time of year, Sybil. I'm getting an invitation from people I don't know. But does that mean they want some money or something like that?
Usually.
That's exactly what it means.
This kid been living in my neighborhood for 18 years, walking by my house, not even waving. Now he send me an invitation. He ain't getting shit, not a damn thing. All the pieces out there. I don't like this time of year. Graduation is also what the other time of the year is. People moving and people they have a house warming.
Yeah.
I ain't buying shit for your house. You bought that house. Engagements, people get married in June and May.
Save the dates.
Yeah,
George, I got one for you. I got a graduation announcement for someone who graduated last year, but is going to March this year, and all gifts that were not sent last year are gladly accepted this year.
If you still got it, we'll take it.
You send them $5 and tell them it was 10 last year. You get all these invitations and you want to be nice, but it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is.
They send it to y'all because they know y'all actually respond. I don't get none of that.
Well, you got your own to worry about, Rodney. I mean, you got your graduations and the moving on and all of that in increments. So, folks,
Rodney, it's your kid I'm talking about. I ain't never met your kid. And your kid sent me. I ain't never seen your kid before. You one of those daddies and parents tell them send one this person, send one that person, and chances are you'll get something. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I put $5 in a card in the mail. It's coming in the mail, okay.
Did you put an address and a stamp on it?
Do they do that anymore, Sybil? When we graduated, we had the stamp on it, didn't we?
Yeah, well, those both those things help if you're going to put it in the mail and not the email. Just saying.
Oh no, these are old time. These are real mail things. This in the fancy envelope and the other, 2 envelopes, right? One inside the other one.
Nowadays they use their Cash App, so they don't even have to mail it. Just
right.
That's true.
That's true. That's absolutely right. They gave the address, they gave the Cash App label, and
that's so true.
I think it was another one.
Venmo.
In the event I wasn't able to send it the old-fashioned way.
Right. I don't know how to send it. I definitely don't know how to send it the new way. So it's going to be in the mail, okay?
I had a homeless guy tell me I could Zelle him.
Yeah.
That's the truth. You don't have to have money for them anymore. They got Zelle and the thing's square. They do it right there on the spot. Don't you think some of these homeless people should be in the printing business? You ever seen their signs? You can read, it's legible. You can see it across the street. It's in the printing business. Everything is going crazy here. Another thing went crazy, Sybil. I went to a doctor. I went to a doctor called an eyeologist.
An eyeologist?
They put lights in your eye and they tell you what's wrong with your body.
Oh,
this was fantastic. Okay. He told me about my kidney and my liver and everything, how things were not functioning properly and what I need to do. And I think it's bullshit, but he did a good job, of what he was telling me to do. But then he told me stop eating chicken. And that's why I'm going to jail. I shot his ass on the spot. How the hell? It's simple. The doctor told me to stop eating chicken. Can you believe that? And cut back on your carbs and bread and stuff like that. So when you get a hamburger, get it in lettuce instead of bread. So I got to change my
lettuce
life.
wrap.
You know about that?
Yeah, lettuce
Yeah.
wraps and all of that. Yeah, In-N-Out Burger is good for that. Having the burger in the
but how you
the
tell a
lettuce.
black man to stop eating chicken?
Well, he told you to stop eating chicken, but what did he say about that Whopper you got there by your side?
Well, I'm hungry. I'm hungry today. You can't always. I went to the doctor yesterday. You cannot always abide by the rules. And Burger King specifically says what? Sometimes you got to break the rules. Burger King said that.
Okay.
He did
And
say
so
that.
you chose this to be the day.
I was coming home in the traffic and I had to get something to eat in Burger King. And naturally, I waited 10 minutes. Don't that piss you off when you go to the drive-thru and somebody had 2 sackfuls? Who the hell know that many people at Burger King to get that many burgers? Had 2 sackfuls of burgers. And I had to wait in line. And I told my Sybil is waiting on me.
Yeah.
I said, we watching Sybil. That's why the line's slow. We're watching Sybil. But
Rodney,
it's a good day to be here.
How about you, Rodney? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you doing things to following doctor's orders after your health
Absolutely
challenges?
not, Sybil. I'm not doing nothing. I'm living on the edge, Sybil. You understand me? The guy told me yesterday, Rodney, you done cheated death twice. I was like, look, when it's your time, it's your time. Like, so I've come to the conclusion that if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. So, hopefully I ain't on the list.
You're gonna die.
If you're gonna die, you're gonna die. It's too late. When the Grim Reaper tap you on the shoulder, come on.
But Rodney,
no
he
call
tapped
waiting,
you on
you
the
gotta pick
shoulder
up.
when you had a stroke, and you said what?
Oh, he didn't. If it was my time, Sybil, I would be gone. Ain't no, the Grim Reaper never miss.
The Grim Reaper didn't go, hey, look over here, and you need to get your act together.
Your grandma gonna kill you for saying
Grim
that.
Reaper
Don't
does one job. He say, come on. He don't come around just to give you Grim Reaper don't give you no warning.
So that's your excuse for not doing right and taking care of your health?
All jokes aside, I'm definitely doing a lot better with my diet. I got a bike over here, for God's sake.
It's
but you
sitting
ain't
there.
riding
Is
it.
it being used?
I ain't riding it right now because I can't breathe and ride and talk at the same time.
And Rodney, I follow you on social media, and every once in a while, well, actually pretty often, I see you with a cigar in hand or something like that.
I seen him sitting on the toilet stool.
First of all, Sybil, you ain't following me like that.
Yes, you did. One time you were on the toilet stool. You were out there, man. I want to be like you so badly. So, and social media, you get your news out there, and I wish I could do that.
Oh no, you're doing a great job, George. No, but I mean, moderation is the key to life.
Mm-hmm.
And I smoke an occasional cigar.
Okay.
I'm not like I was before I had my stroke. I was smoking every day, and I smoke maybe once or twice a month now. And moderation is the key. Is my key that I live by right now.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, so when they tap you on your shoulder, just tell the Grim Reaper moderation. Mm-hmm.
it's like your chance of moderation is over with now, pal.
I will have had a good life.
You said moderation. He said expiration.
Yeah, right. Oh, you misheard me. Okay.
Indeed.
Tap on the shoulder.
So Rodney, I am, like I said, I'm a big fan, and that I had an opportunity. I play Words with Friends, and so the other day it said, "Oh, your friend Rodney Perry is back on. Do you want to play?" And I said, "I don't even know if he'll accept my invitation these days."
First of all, for anybody that watches this show, and Sybil might be the smartest human being on the planet.
Yeah,
Sybil.
Now, I say a lot of dumb shit. But I'm not going to agree with you on that one. Okay?
No, have you ever played Sybil Words with Friends?
Sybil's smart at everything, but she ain't the smartest person in the world.
No, I'm definitely not. But I do love a challenging game. And Rodney, after a while, just kind of if there was an emoji for Rodney doing this, I found.
I will resign if you with me by 2 or 300 points. You don't have to make me bleed, Sybil. Sybil will make me bleed.
I'm not saying she's the smartest person in the world, but I did learn a lot of words from Sybil.
Yeah, she has words.
Insurrection. I learned insurrection from her. She told me that. And the other one was what was it called? It wasn't masturbation. What was that word that Jay used that morning? It was
I don't remember what
it was. It was a big A word.
She had me an action word too, and I had an action. don't know which one it was.
Exacerbate, Sybil.
Exacerbate.
Yeah.
Exacerbate.
Oh no, that's not masturbate at all. Well, if you
Rodney
masturbate,
can tell you that.
you could exacerbate. Yeah.
Although that is, if you have it really just right, and you have triple and double and words and letters and stuff just right, that's a major score right there with that word right there, George Wallace.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
and I'm learning all of these new words in the last. I started learning words back in the OJ trial when they had the sequestered. They're going to do what? Everybody's in. I think they were sequestered for more than 3 months or 6 months with the OJ.
It was
They
for
were
the length
sequestered
of the trial,
for a long time. Yeah.
Which is what they wanted with the Derek Chauvin trial. Remember, they didn't do that.
Exactly.
It came down to make.
I actually sat on a murder case before.
Really?
What?
I sat on a murder case when I lived in Los Angeles. I sat on a murder case, and it was 2 adjoining businesses, and the 2 business owners had altercation on the street that day, and we had to turn out. We ended up being a hung jury, and we were the second jury to hang on this case.
Wow.
So the guy ended up walking on it.
Oh, I thought
was it a black man?
No, two non-blacks. They were like from different, not white, not black. They were 2 foreigners.
Okay.
But they had an altercation this day, and the guy shot him. And his defense was that well, if you think someone is in imminent danger, you can use deadly force against them.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guy was talking to his wife, and his defense is that he thought his wife was in danger, so he shot the man.
Wow.
And he got off.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys, we have a special guest. He wants to chime in on this conversation.
A special guest? Who the hell could a special guest be?
I know.
Oh
Well, let's go and see. Oh,
my
there.
Oh my God! I got to go to the bathroom. Oh my God! This is like a laxative for me. This is a laxative. I can't believe you let this son of a bitch. Who producing the show? Who's producing the show? Y'all know I'm going through hard times, and now you bring more sadness. You know what that is, Sybil? Somebody tapping me on my shoulder. You put Jay under the ground tapping me.
Grim Reaper.
That's the Grim Reaper. Look at him.
Hey,
Oh my God. He killing old people too. Look at his lip.
You know what? First of all, George, you really need more light. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what.
I got a street.
Let me finish. You know you need light. I don't know. And all that money you got, just get a 60-watt bulb. That's all.
Jay,
it will make
I'm
a
so
big
black.
difference in your life.
I'm so black. I got a street light on me right now. I got a street light.
60 watt. You might need a spotlight. One of them lights where they say coming attraction. You might.
Klieg light.
Yeah.
This is not funny. Rodney, don't laugh at that stuff. He said something really nasty. Tell him what you said about me last week. I'll never forget that.
What did I say?
And Michael Blackston.
I said if you put you and Michael Blackston side by side, George would look like Smokey Robinson.
That joke. That's against Michael. That ain't against me.
That ain't against you. I'm a red bone in Michael's world.
Oh my God, this is a great surprise.
I have no idea. I have not been listening.
You have not been listening? We were talking about Rodney and taking care of his health, George, and the same thing. And you are another example of, somebody who has taken his health seriously of late.
Yes, definitely. And Rodney will contest to that in terms of, I was down to my my cancer weight, but I picked a lot of it back.
Can you call it that?
Cancer weight?
That was the only thing I can say. I was thin as shit when I had cancer, man.
You didn't pick it back up, huh?
I haven't picked all of it back up. I was so thin that Steve said, "Damn, I'm thinking about getting cancer." If you
Jesus.
Hey, and Jay is a good man. Because when Jay was going through it, he was voluntarily doing little cancer, doing little prostate exams for everybody.
Well, yesterday I got my prostate checked, and I told the doctor, I'm like, Let me look at your hands because it felt like you put a baseball bat in my ass. I don't know what that was.
Was it aluminum?
His hands wasn't on your shoulders, was it?
I know. I mean, dude, how far you got to go up in there to check a where's the prostate?
Like this.
Yeah, it was a Louisville Slugger, wasn't it? It was a Louisville Slugger.
His thumb came out my mouth. I'm like, oh, what the fuck are you doing?
Can you at least clip your nails?
No, I said, could you at least take your watch off? Damn.
And your doctor said, read the card, read the card, read the card.
Oh my
Remember
God.
that joke they pull out the dozen of roses and say, read the card?
Yes.
Oh God.
I wanted to say hi.
No, you staying right there. You staying right there. You ain't got nowhere to go.
I got stuff to do. I'm in Birmingham. It's the white woman capital of the world. So I got stuff to do. If you're a
white woman with a black man capital of the world.
Black man capital. Well, a white woman if you're black. You know, all you gotta do to get a white woman is make a touchdown. And you or
Make a touchdown.
make a touchdown or play basketball real good, and you can get you a white
woman.
So which of those did you do?
I don't. I'm done, Sybil. I'm done.
You're not done.
No, I'm not done.
Now he just playing balls. He just playing balls.
Well, y'all be
With
good.
a doctor,
No, Jay. Are you working in Birmingham? Or
That ain't none of your business what I'm doing in Birmingham. It's not your damn business. I'm not your business. I'm trying to find a saddle for your mama because
Whoa.
Oh, he done crossed the line now. He done crossed the line now. I'm already Easter shopping for your mama.
Easter?
I'm already doing when is Easter? No, I mean 4th of July.
Last month.
Yeah, 4th of July.
What are you looking for? Yeah, I'm working. I am working. Yeah.
Well, that's what you should tell people. You're gonna be at the start home, or you're at
No. I'm gonna be at Huntsville. I'm trying to do a karaoke in Huntsville, Alabama. The same thing.
You don't know what you want to do. One week you want to sing, the next week you want to try to tell jokes. Next week you're working on your leukemia. Next week you're doing all kinds of different shit. You don't. Do you have new teeth in your mouth? Look like you got new teeth. You're doing like old.
Okay, let's not talk teeth. Okay.
Hey Jay, seems like I wouldn't need a light with these teeth, right? I don't need a light.
You're not allowed to do jokes about yourself. That's my job, okay?
Jay, can you stick around with us?
George and I go to the same dentist, and so I went to the dentist, and the doctor, I said, what were you doing this time? The last time George was here, filing his teeth down. Anyway, so I went to the doctor, and he called George on the phone. He said, I'm going to pull all these motherfuckers out like you said, George.
Oh, this has got jokes.
Put him to sleep. And I paid the doctor to pull every one of his teeth out. Yeah.
Anyway, I got to go. Y'all have a good show.
I bet you $1 you can't tell us where you're going. You can't tell us where you're going. I bet you lie somewhere. Where you going, Jay?
Right now, I'm sitting in front of Target. That's all I'm doing now. Yeah, and I'm trying to buy a house in Atlanta. That's what I'm doing.
Well,
George?
We wish you. Well, he can buy my house. Yeah, you should buy that house I got, Jay.
No, no, I'm not.
Too much grass, huh?
I'm not gonna buy your house. It's too much of a smell of Grecian 8 in there. Damn.
What is Grecian 8?
Grecian what?
Glover's Maine and all that shit.
Okay.
That old idea.
It's Sofa 8. Sofa 8.
Grecian 8. Okay, we'll let you go. If you want to come back in, let us know.
He ain't coming back in.
We'll bring you back in.
I mean, what is that you eating on, Jay?
He ain't even know nothing, just his teeth. The teeth moving around on him. They're not secured yet.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, Jay.
Don't call him no more. You ugly bear.
Damn time I want to. In fact, I might just hang up and call back. How about that?
You ain't got the bees to do that. I ain't never call back.
All right. You know what I did want to talk to you about, George, is and to you, Rodney.
You should stay, Jay, because I think I know what she's gonna say. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to get your take on Rodney Perry because Jay has contributed last week when we had a salute to Paul Mooney. George, you were working. And so I wanted to play the video that George gave. And also, Rodney, before we do that, just your thoughts on Paul Mooney.
Absolutely. Well, of course, Paul Mooney is a legend to all of us. And George and I text back and forth. George is so funny, man. George
No,
say,
he's not that funny. He's not.
no,
Shut up. Shut up.
Rodney.
Shut up.
Wait a minute. Wait, Jay.
No, go ahead, Rodney.
He doesn't like anybody be funnier than he is. Go ahead, Junior.
Jay, all jokes aside, man. So George texted me that, man. I said, you heard Paul is gone. He said, oh, I'm nervous. I think I'm next. I said, George, you ain't next. He said, they come in threes. I said, George, you stronger than all of us. You gonna outlive us all.
Right.
So,
They come in threes in terms
it might not be me, but it's going to the three of us. The three of us watching.
We're gonna tell somebody.
Well, you know, I'm gonna tell you why it's not gonna me and Rodney, because we already been near death.
I looked over there.
That's why I'm scared as hell. I swear to God. That's why I went to the doctor yesterday. Yeah, you wasn't here. The doctor told me to stop.
I tell you what George did at my mama's funeral. Then I gotta go. So my mama, Rodney,
Your mama dead? Your mama dead?
No, I'm not finished. My mama passed away. George comes to the funeral, and I see him coming down the line. I know he's gonna say something. He leans over in my ear. First of all, my sister didn't want him at the funeral because she don't like it. And his people don't like me, so it's even. It's an even split.
Right.
George leans over in my ear and he said, "That bitch better be dead. If she not, I'm gonna kill her motherfucking ass." So I start laughing. Right. My sister said, "What did he say?" I said, "You don't want to know what the fuck he said. You really don't."
At the funeral, can you? But that takes some balls.
The body was behind me. I'm like,
Body look over your shoulder like, what did he say?
Right.
I went down there because Rodney, it was a used coffin, so I went down. Man, his mama in a used coffin. We made it. We went to Home Depot and built her ass because they didn't have a coffin. A regular coffin wasn't big enough for her ass. We had to get some 2x4s, 6x8s, all kinds of shit. 8x10s, man, that coffin. And we put
Rodney,
in that
go
shit.
ahead. Tell us about Paul Mooney, man. Please.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. No, man, we lost a legend in Paul Mooney. And I talked to Roland Martin, and Roland was telling me how Paul ordered a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And when I heard that, I said to myself, he went to heaven. You do not go to heaven unless you order a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at your last meal.
That was his last meal?
So we just learned, don't order no peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
If you can help it. If you know you done your last few meals, don't order peanut butter and jelly. No, man. All jokes aside, man, he gave us so many laughs, such good energy, and people got such great stories about Paul Mooney. I heard so many great stories this past week, and you can't associate with the GOAT. Like I look at you guys as some of the greatest of all time. So just by association, that makes you as great as well.
Right.
You think about Richard Pryor and what he was to us, and Paul Mooney just accentuated that. And he spanned 5 decades.
Yeah.
I mean, he affected people like Eddie Murphy, he affected people like Dave Chappelle.
Everybody.
My generation, your generation. And so it's a sad day, but at the same time, I told him on a radio interview I did that let's not be sad for Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney, his body is old now, and he's in a great place.
Yeah.
Well, my story about one of my other stories about Paul Mooney, I would go see
So
George
many.
and Paul up at the Comedy Store. George would go on at midnight, and Paul would go on after that. It could be 6 or 7 people. But Paul was set on running 3 of them motherfuckers out of there.
Right.
As I said before, Paul Mooney, he make you laugh or he make you leave. One of the
Paul
two.
wouldn't be happy until 3, and they were always 3. It's either 2 white people or 1 black person that was just disgusted would leave. And when that would leave, Paul would just stay and do what he was doing. And that was Paul Mooney, man.
But he loved that 12 o'clock spot. He was the last one on.
Right.
One time Paul Mooney's car broke down. and the tow truck came, and he didn't tow the car. He had Paul Mooney rode up in the tow truck to get his spot. He left the car. He was on the running board, Jay. He was on the outside of the tow truck on the running board.
That was Paul, man. That was Paul.
Wow.
Matter of fact, no comedian is great until they die. He was so good. Give me about 2 weeks. Now I'm
great
gonna
now.
tell you the truth. You know, I never had a cup of coffee. I'll let it go.
Now we're gonna
Paul was a great comedian, but sometimes
George,
Paul,
George, hold on. We're gonna end with your video. Just want you to know we are gonna play your video and your thoughts on Paul Mooney. But that's gonna be, we're gonna do that towards the end of the show.
By the way, I do got to go back to Home Depot and do, finish the
Okay, so Jay, can you stick around and talk some hot topics?
He can stick around. He gonna stick around. He ain't got nowhere to go.
So here's one of the things, Rodney. I don't know if you know about our newsletter, but we do have a newsletter, What You Need to Know, and every day we talk about the topics that ring with Black folks. But we also get these last minute topics that are coming about. Jay, what are you doing? Any moment now, the Senate will likely vote on that January 6th commission in order to investigate the January 6th insurrection. And it seems like the filibuster is going to be.
She's going to sit there and keep reading, Jay, like a fool. You see these three nuts sitting over here looking, these dumb asses sitting here with masks on talking to you on television. What the hell are you wearing? Rodney Perry, what the hell is that you got on? Look like a Chunky Monkey label from the ice cream. What the hell are you wearing? Damn, is that...
George, have you seen yourself?
We're talking about the insurrection. Go ahead, Sybil.
Okay.
This is serious.
So I just want people to know that any moment now, tonight, the Republicans are expected to start a filibuster or to begin the filibuster because they don't want to vote in favor of a commission to look into the January 6th as if it never happened. And here's the killer part about this is the policeman who was killed, his mom was on Capitol Hill today wanting to convince and to talk to the Republicans.
And they would meet with her, but they won't vote against the thing. But here's my thing. Until the Democrats get some balls and just get rid of the filibuster, you cannot count on the Republicans to work partisan with the Democrats to pass anything.
You can't have any balls when you got that one guy. The one guy, Manchin. You need that one guy, and he won't commit to it. We just need one guy to take it from 60 votes to 50 votes.
Right.
But Manchin,
you need 10 Republicans. You need 10 Republicans to vote with them so that they can make this happen. And so that's the problem.
But what the Democrats can do, they can pass a rule to drop that 60 to 50 if Manchin were to come in.
That's not going to happen tonight, George. So they need 10 Republicans to vote with that.
That's never going to fucking happen.
It ain't going to never happen.
Now, Sybil, I got a question. The filibuster itself, can you educate me on what exactly a filibuster is?
Bullshit. Just to sit there and bullshit.
Let the person who has the most education answer the fucking question, asshole. That's not you.
Well, you need to stop talking. You need to stop talking right now. The less educated, you piece of shit, the less person.
Shut the fuck up. Go ahead, Sybil. Go ahead. That's somebody calling you that agrees with me saying Jay's right. Shut the fuck up. Go ahead, Sybil. Tell them what the filibuster is.
You shut up, Jay. Let me tell you something.
So a filibuster is designed in order to stop the legislature, the Senate or the House, in this case, the Senate, from carrying through on a vote. And so for an elongated period of time, people of this one party, in order to stop the vote, will talk and talk and talk. You know, you've seen jokes about this where they read all of
the dictionary and stuff
read from the Bible, all of this stuff in order to stop the vote. And so now it looks like they are just going to try to implement the filibuster in the case of this particular vote, and as well as others that they will try to do.
And the record for the filibuster, the person that talked the longest was Strong Thurman out of South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he talked the longest.
He didn't say a lot, he was just slow.
So we're going to keep an eye on that. And the other thing that was suggested that I asked you guys about, do you know the story about Dominique Wilkins, the human highlight film? He is obviously Mr. Atlanta. All the great years he gave to the city of Atlanta.
He
still
was.
living
He
there.
ain't no more. He was Mr. Atlanta.
No matter who you are.
This is that wake up call, right?
Yes,
At the restaurant where he went, and a black woman went last week, and they were both turned away because of their wardrobe. And yet, the white people who were already seated, obviously, they had on, cutoffs and tank tops and all of this other kind of stuff. So first, Dominique was told there were no tables available. He pointed out there were tables. Then they said his wardrobe. He wasn't wearing appropriate wardrobe. And at some point you want to say, I'm Dominique Wilkins.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
How are you going to do this to me? Well, the general manager has apologized and what have you, but it doesn't look like they're going to be making any changes. At least that is the kind of conversation we're hearing from people.
Well, in Atlanta.
Well, go ahead, Rodney.
In Atlanta have come down on several restaurants in the past when T.I. had the issue in Atlanta. So Atlanta will do in-house regulation on that if they need to. So I'm looking forward to see T.I. get involved.
Well, T.I. got involved with Houston. So, and Houston had a rule that right now the three of us we got a cap.
T.I. got a lot of other shit going on. He won't be doing any protesting. He might. What T.I. need to do is go let whoever he got tied up in the fucking basement go. Allegedly. We don't know. Allegedly. So don't look for T.I. to be doing shit.
Jay, you might want to relocate and find another place to find a house. I'm just thinking that's not a good idea.
The world famous restaurant in Houston's, and all black people like Houston's, right? So they had the rule no caps. That's an antiquated rule just to keep us out, right? So I go to the one in Buckhead and it says no caps, sir. I said, why not? We just don't. It's a policy. I said, when you tell that lady over there with that hat on over there to take hers off, I'll take mine off. And we wind up calling the police.
Wow. Well, white people have.
I've had that happen too.
Yeah,
really?
I have. I've been in a restaurant. I was there in LA when I was living in LA. Right. I went to lunch with my family and I had a hat on. And the gentleman said, we have this policy for no hats. And if we do it for men, we have to do it for you. Will you take your hat off? And so I took my hat off. I just, But
what's the guy's name that owned the Ebony magazine that Tom used to always tell us about?
John Johnson.
John Johnson would always say that white people will always find a moment to remind you of the Negro that you are. But he didn't say Negro, and he's right. You think you are beyond approach in terms of being discriminated against because you're rich. It's happened to every rich person. It happened to Oprah.
Remember when she was in France and she tried to go into the Hermes store? Remember that?
Did you say beyond approach?
Say that again, sweetie.
Did you say beyond approach?
Or reproach?
Reproach, I said. Reproach.
You know he's from South Carolina. You know he get his words.
I said the right goddamn word.
I know one thing. You're not gonna be cussing on this show. This is a Christian show.
Look. I told Sybil that this is the internet, and sometimes no other word goes but the cuss word. And all of y'all cuss. I've seen all y'all cuss.
I didn't know we was cussing today, Sybil.
You didn't know we was cussing until I showed up.
Hey, Jay, do the song, Jay. Do the song.
Hey, Jay, before you leave, I got to tell you something. Somebody asked me, I was on the set last week, and somebody came by with Altoids, and they just put one in my hand. And they said, don't that piss you off? And then they start discussing when people do shit like that. And I had to tell them the story about, I had a friend on stage in Atlanta, Georgia one night. This night, the Queen died. And I eat Altoids like candy. And I went out on the stage, Rodney and Sybil, and I'm doing my thing. I'm kicking ass. And I got my little Altoid box on a stool over there. And I look over to my right. Jansen Brown is taking each Altoid out of the little can.
No, you're not.
And put them back in.
Put them back in the can.
Oh, why would you do that?
Hey, Jay.
That's how ignorant he is, Rodney.
They taste all right, too.
Rodney, I'm on stage. We was in Seattle. I'm doing my show. George walks out behind me with his pants off. He walks with his pants down, And so I was like, I know that joke wasn't that funny. His ass is behind me, right?
Blue Nail said she never had so much fun in her life. Blue Nail was on that show.
Yeah, we had a good time.
I saw Lunell this weekend, you guys. I saw her at the Arlington Improv. It was a lot of fun.
Speaking of shows, shouts out to, I don't know if she will speak to me, but Monique, I understand that Monique had a killer set this weekend at Uptown Comedy, and I heard she did really good. And it's nothing like getting back on that stage and doing it, man.
Yeah. She did a good job with us too 2 weeks ago, Jay. You said she was wonderful.
Good.
Yeah. Rodney, what about you? Are you back on stage?
I'm back on stage. I'm actually in where am I?
You're in Birmingham too. You're in Birmingham.
No, I'm not in Birmingham. I'm in Kent right now working on the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
You working on the movie?
Y'all know Joe Coy, the Filipino comedian.
Yeah.
This is his movie. It's produced by Amblin Films, which is Steven Spielberg company.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal. I'm quarantining right now for like 14 days before I even work.
Oh yeah.
He's in the most beautiful city in North America, Sybil.
Vancouver,
British Columbia.
Please turn your phone light on or something.
Hold on a second.
Right.
I got to do this. Hold on.
This is ridiculous.
Why you had to say? Why I had to say please twice?
I mean, please. You know your phone has a light on it.
I'm trying to get the phone to work now. Damn it.
Like you're making a call.
I got another light.
My God.
I know I'm a darkie.
Yeah, he knows it too. He knows he's dark.
Shut up.
Why would you do that?
Maybe I can put my light on George.
Yeah, let's all do that.
Shine the love and love.
I don't like none of y'all. Why is this thing not working? Damn it.
What you trying to do, Mr. George?
George is having an old man moment.
All right, George. While you're working on that, I have one more thing to talk to you all about. Hang on, Jay, because I really want to hear your take on this and Rodney's as well. The Central Park Karen, remember her from a year ago?
Yes.
With the dog.
With the dog and the black bird watcher.
Yeah.
So she got fired like the next day after this happened, right? She has now filed suit against her former employer, citing discrimination.
Well, that is discrimination. That is totally discrimination. Sometimes what you do outside your job should not reflect some of the things that you do on the job. It had nothing to do with her work. It had to do with her being an asshole. She should have got her ass beat. But I said this last week about these white people. There's a lot of unreported ass whoopings that are happening with white people that don't nobody know about,
right? Because
they're approaching white people, and I think it has to do with Trump's attitude.
Right?
It seems to be like they're invincible. Excuse me, don't mean shit to white people anymore. They were back in the day. They would move out the way, but now it's like you almost got to yell or push them down. Excuse me, move out the way. It's their attitude, but she might have a chance to win this because what she did outside the job had nothing to do with her job.
I disagree. I think that when you are representing a company, and as she did, even in your off hours, I think that it does color people's.
You gotta go.
I'm just glad to see a white person
business.
You'll see. I mean,
she's gonna get some money. She's gonna get some money. She's vice president too. She gonna
let me say this before I go.
You ain't going nowhere.
I'm gonna go. Why is it if you go to Church's Fried Chicken, everybody in there has flour in their ass? I need to know why.
George.
God damn it! Fucking asshole! Fuck you! Fuck you!
I just want you to know what I have.
Somebody left you a message like that?
Somebody listen to the voice.
That was me, Rodney.
Why would you do that, Jay?
Oh, you ain't that's half of it, Rodney.
That's just half of it.
That ain't right. George Wallace is a legendary comedian. Why would you do that, Jay?
That's probably a message he left to his children. I'm not.
All right, I gotta go. Later, y'all.
Where you gotta go? Where are you?
Where you going, Jay?
I'm going back in Target to buy what I was supposed to buy before, but I ended up buying some other shit I really didn't need.
And you forgot.
It just hit you when you heard that.
That's right.
All the money you got, you shopping at Targets. Why are you shopping at Targets?
$50 worth of shit. That's not what the fuck I went in there for.
We'll be
So
buying
now I gotta
another
go
t-shirt.
back in. Bye, y'all.
See
Bye,
you, Jay.
Wow.
So Rodney,
God bless him.
I want to ask you about this Central Park Karen thing, and then we'll wrap it up, and we want to talk more about.
No. I think she. I agree with you on that. But another tidbit to the story. I don't know if you heard this part. The young man, the bird watcher, was actually watching out for chicken. And so I just got this story just in.
A chicken in New York City in Central Park.
Exactly, and that's what made it a little peculiar, George. Is that he was actually he was looking for chicken in the park, which and the poultry people are getting mad at him. They're going to sue him. So that's just in.
Would you repeat that again? Would you CNN? Would you repeat that again? Making up shit in Central Park.
I got a paper and everything. What you talking about, Mr. George?
Rodney,
how can I make it up and it's on the paper?
Rodney, I think this is a part of what Tom used to have as INN, Ignorant Negro News.
All right, we got more.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Could you do me a favor? Could you play the video, the clip I was going to do?
We will play that.
We saving it, George. That's a big finale.
You
Hang on, George.
Well, read your paper. Read your paper. INN.
All right. Another little tidbit.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all been paying attention to sports lately, but LeBron James has been. They say he's been acting, and this just in. LeBron James is up for an Oscar.
What?
Yes, the odds from his performance 2 nights ago in the NBA basketball game. So it's LeBron and Denzel, and they say LeBron is a front. It's on the paper.
Man, that stroke messed you up, didn't it? That stroke messed you up. You just really.
I'm glad you said it. Speaking of strokes. And I didn't even know I was in this. For the ladies out there, Rodney Perry is still stroking.
I've been stroking.
You be stroking?
Yeah, and
to the east,
looks like
stroking to the west.
Rodney Perry picked up another movie. He will be doing the Clarence Carter story.
Stroking to the east, stroking to the west. I've been stroking.
Rodney, I gotta tell you, I've always thought this, and watching you perform on stage, as well as when you've been on the Joyner Show and how you interact with people. I remember we did a Dr. Day broadcast from Philadelphia.
Yes.
And you were so wonderful, especially with the people that were coming up on stage from the audience and what have you. And I always thought that you should have been the next person to host a show like Kids Say the Darndest Things.
Oh,
I always
great.
thought that you were the perfect person to do that. It's happened now with a young woman, but Tiffany has the show now. But I just think has that always been natural for you in terms of your camaraderie and your relationship and chemistry with people?
My base is improv. You know, I mean, before I ever told a joke, I was improvising on stage. So I kind of live in that space. And so I'm just really comfortable without a net sometimes. And I like being in that space. And I didn't know what I was going to say when I pulled these papers out. But, then you got great people like George and Jay, and they set the bar so high. So you just got to perform. So yeah. I love that. Remember that story about the guy that had all them kids?
Which
the guy? The guy fathered like 30 kids.
Oh, Iyanla?
I think he was on Iyanla, but he fathered like 30 kids.
30 children, right?
It was all like it's so bad. I was like, well, hold on, let's look at this a different way.
Right.
This guy has to be the most engaging.
That's right.
He would be all the time. He has, like, I can understand kid number 5. Then you like, I didn't know. Kid number 10, that's your guy. That is your guy.
Engaging.
I
forgot about that. This guy is so engaging.
He has to be the most engaging. Jay have it on tape. He sent it to me. I got it right here.
And that just happens to be on your paper in front of you right now.
You know what? Now that you mentioned it, Joe.
That's why I want to go to your improv school. Yo, what else is on the paper?
Well, first of all, Mr. Wallace, we want to thank you for being a legend that you are.
Oh.
And that I think, like, all of us are talking about Mr. Paul Mooney now, and God rest his soul. But we got to give you your love right now. We can see you and touch you, man. You come to the comedy clubs. You not only mentor people like me, but you mentor the young guys that nobody ever heard of. Right. And I've seen it with my own eyes. And you show them how to be comedians. You talk to them about money, what they can make. And dude, you can't put a value on that. So thank you for who you are, man, for real.
Well, thank you for saying that. I heard you say that before I died. So I know you're gonna say something else when I die. I'm gonna say, punk ass, you didn't say that on the radio with Sybil. We need to stop lying to these people.
George, you gonna sit up and say that?
Huh? I'm gonna raise up in the coffin. I'm gonna raise up in the coffin because somebody's cell phone gonna go off. That's the only reason. Can I have my day?
As you were.
Well, thank you so much. And man, I want to come to one of your improv classes because that's something I don't know how to do, but I watch you and I know you instruct people, and I want to come to your class one day.
Consider it done. But you and Jay just improv 40 minutes.
You took up all the Rodney.
You know, the man that had 30 kids, that was Jay's daddy.
But he's engaging.
In South Carolina, yeah.
Rodney, did you? I know, coming from Chicago, did you study improv like at one of the big schools or anything, like Second City or whatever?
No. So I'm from Chicago, but I'm not a Chicago comic. So when I decided I wanted to do comedy, we had already moved out of the city, and I'm in Monroe, Louisiana.
Okay.
So that I find a stage in Louisiana. I was in the Navy for 8 years, from 90 to 98, and so New Orleans is where I really got my feet wet. Y'all know the Dr. Ken Jump from the Hangover movies?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
When he was in medical school, we used to do improv together in New Orleans.
Is that right?
That's how we go back. Kevin Hart's right-hand man, Harry Ratchford.
Harry talks about you all the time. You guys are like besties, right?
That's my best friend. We was roommates in the Navy.
Yeah.
And he made Kevin through me. I told Kevin he stole all my friends. He stole Harry. He stole Joey Wells. They're my friends. They don't even like Kevin, but he paid him.
I listen to the Plastic Cup Boys, and Harry is always referencing you and Joey as well. So I love that about you guys. I really do.
We go back 20, 30 years. We actually celebrating our birthdays. His birthday is a day after mine. So September 15th and 16th, he'll be 50 and I'll be 51 this year. We're gonna celebrate together.
Wow, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Good friends. That's good stuff. Okay, so here we are coming out of the pandemic, out of coronavirus quarantine and all of that. And this is the real first holiday that people are emerging. Most of us are emerging. So how are you going to celebrate? And are you going to be doing things differently? Or are you going to go back to the way it was with the crowded barbecues and going to amusement parks and all that kind of stuff?
Well, me and George live in Atlanta.
You never got out of it.
Atlanta emerged 6 months ago.
If you ever went in.
Atlanta emerged New Year's Eve. So Atlanta is out there, man. I mean, it's crowded, but people, the vaccine is giving people confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you got to think, this whole time has instilled a lot of fear in this country.
Yes.
And so people are starting to kind of recover from that fear. And so I just hope we don't see a resurgence in the numbers, or nothing like that. That will scare us all over again.
Yeah.
That's why I'm starting my show in September in Las Vegas as opposed to now. I can wait. I want to see what happens after this spike. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope there's no spike. But people are on. I'm going to be on the airport tomorrow. At the airport tomorrow, I'm going to Atlanta. But the planes are full.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
I flew Spirit, and they had a woman sit on my lap.
Spirit, we're on the plane where the captain said, I'm going to come back there and slap the shit out of you if you don't put your mask on. It was a black captain, Sybil. It was a black captain says, I'm going to call you, hold it. I'm going to come back there and slap the shit out of all of y'all and all the black people put those masks on. And that's a true story.
So, George, for real, you're coming back in September? You're going to get back on stage in September?
Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start in New York. My friend, Mr. Seinfeld, and I are going to go to the clubs and work out our new jokes together.
Okay.
And maybe the two of us might even go out on the road together. So,
George, how awesome would that be?
That would be amazing.
He probably ain't. It ain't gonna happen. He can't follow me.
He can't follow you.
He can't. He can bring the people in, but he can't follow me.
Okay.
Wow.
George, tell people what you've been working on this week.
This week I was working on a new show. It's called Everything is Trash by a lovely young lady. Her name is Phoebe Robinson, one of those new young comedians. She wrote a book called Everything is Trash. And I was the whole week, 10 days I was there working. And it was wonderful. And the series is very, very funny. And I tell you what, I went to a party afterwards, Sybil, because we tested every morning. Every day we tested the COVID. And so they had a rap party. And I went, it was the same 12 people, but I was kind of comfortable, but not really. But I was having fun. And so that's what happens at these places when you start when you back into the groove.
Right.
It's like when I did Jimmy Kimmel last week. It was the first time I've been in front of any audience. And all of a sudden you felt like, okay. So you got to be careful. Now, my family's having a party this weekend, but I might show up, I might not. I might you know what I think I'll do is drive by and just blow the horn. You know, like we get down in the country, brum, just wait. So yes, I'm going to wait, but I hope all of these guys. I appreciate these guys going out there working. It's really nice to see them. I guess paving a way for me.
Yeah. And George, did you tell me you were doing some sort of animation too?
Yes, it's called 10-Year-Old Tom. It's an animation. It's already out there, HBO show, 10-Year-Old Tom.
Okay.
You remember everything, don't you? So
well, I want you to get your information out there.
And for all of my black friends out there, at Mr. George Wallace, you need to tweet. Tweeting is funny, and and make sure that is bull twit. At Mr. George Wallace, go online, tweet me right now. Everybody right now, you need to sign on, just like you need to sign on for Sybil's Daily News Report. You need to be empowered. You need to be informed. Bull twit and whatnot.
And to laugh, because George loves for everyone to laugh.
To laugh it off.
Laugh it off.
Where's that book? I wrote a book called Laugh It Off, and I got another book called More Bull Twit coming out.
And in
the meantime, we got to get these jokes done. I'm going to go on stage. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go on stage and tell everybody I haven't written a joke since quarantine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do jokes from 1980, and they're going to be new to your ass.
And Rodney, once you finish your movie in Vancouver, will you get back on the stage?
I'm back.
I'm working in Chicago, June 19th. That's Father's Day weekend. Father's Day Love and Laughter. Myself, TK Kirkland, Red Grant, and yes, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Twister. It's gonna be a great day. And Father's Day is overlooked.
Right.
We for Mother's Day, but Father's Day, like, okay, Daddy, move. So we're doing this in Chicago, man. I'm excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just to get back on the stage, man. Ain't nothing like that in the world. It makes me laugh.
And it's nothing like going to see Rodney Perry.
That's inside outside, because they have a big Chicago Father's Day.
That's outside.
Outside, yes.
Yeah, this is going to be at the football stadium outside.
Awesome.
Soldier Field.
Before we go, I want to share we have a daily inspiration in the newsletter, Rodney. And so today's Yogi's Jewel is be prepared to get back what you put out into the universe. Be prepared to get back what you put out into the universe. You both put love and laughter out there. Be prepared to get it back. Okay.
What goes around comes around.
That's right.
Yes,
The last thing we're going to do is share with you this video that George Wallace created, talking about his friend Paul Mooney. Just want to wish you all a very happy Memorial Day. Thank you for your service, Rodney, to our country. We appreciate you. And please come back, will you?
Yes, please do.
I will be honored. Yes, please.
Okay, and then come
we'll
on.
get you some more paper, okay?
Okay.
We'll supply the paper. Okay.
Thanks, George. You guys be careful. We're going to close out with this.
I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
We love you too. Thank you.
Everybody, it's me, Dr. George Wallace, still with a legal pad today because we're talking about a legal and lethal comedian, Mr. Dr. Paul Mooney. What a prolific writer. What a great guy he was. Everybody loved him. When I first got to Los Angeles in 1977, there were 3 great black comics at the original room at the Comedy Store. There was Richard Pryor, of course. There was Paul Mooney and another guy named Dave Tyree. And believe it or not, they all looked identical. I thought they were a threesome. They had the same big afro, the same smile, and the same type comedy. Funny, funny, funny. But let me tell you this. After 45 years of doing comedy, I've never had the opportunity of sitting and having a cup of coffee with the great Paul Mooney. But I have had the opportunity of sitting in the back of the comedy room watching Paul Mooney sometimes destroy in both ways, laughter and people walking out. But that's how prolific he was, always unapologetic and did his thing the way he wanted to do it. Paul, we know, loved and wrote for Richard Pryor, and Richard Pryor was the king at the time. We called him the Black Jesus, and everybody wanted to be like Jesus, so therefore everybody used the N-word a lot. Richard Pryor loved the N-word and went to Africa, came back, said he would never use the N-word again. Well, that lasted about 6 months, but saying that to say this, nobody was the king of the N-word like Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney was the king of the N-word. One night we had the opportunity of sitting back of the Comedy Store. We counted 97 niggas. Paul Mooney said nigga 97 times. And I tell you what, it's just amazing. And to this day, my favorite joke of Paul Mooney is, would somebody please make that nigga stop saying nigga? We're gonna miss Paul, but we'll never forget him. We'll never forget it. Last year we had John Witherspoon. This year we have Paul Mooney. And they say it happens in threes. That makes me the elder person now. It happens in threes. I ain't sleeping for the next 2 years. To the Mooney family, to the comedians out there, our family, this is Dr. George Wallace. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Would somebody please make that nigga stop saying nigga? Yeah, homie. Paul Mooney.